Into the first round of stimulus payments, $1.5 billion in checks went out to people who were deceased. And at one point, the IRS said those checks needed to be sent back. And many of you have asked how to do that. This is from our viewer, Steve, who wrote and said, on the first round of stimulus checks, I received a $1,200 check for my wife, Lucy. She unfortunately passed away in March of 2019. Do you have information on how to return that money? Michelle Lee answers your questions every morning at this time and has some new information from the IRS. Michelle, this is a question I didn't even think about.
Yeah, well, certainly. You know, first of all, I just want to say I'm sorry to people like Steve and anyone who might be in his position, because I'm sure that this brings up a lot of loss in your life again. So I'm sorry about that. But we do know that the IRS has really been all over the place, from not knowing what to do to saying send the checks back, and now it looks like in some cases you really don't even have to do that. So here's what we know. Let's go through all of this. If you are sitting on an uncashed paper check, the IRS says it has now been canceled. That's the latest information. The IRS website says you're supposed to return the canceled check, but reports that I've seen say you don't have to do anything once the check has been canceled. So if you want to send it back to the IRS, just write void on the endorsement line. But then let's say you got a direct deposit, or maybe you already cashed the check. If that's the case, the IRS says you now need to send a personal check or money order to them, and it has to be just the portion tied to the deceased person. So we are going to put some addresses up for you so that you can pause your screen if you need to. Those in Washington State, you need to send your check to the IRS in Fresno. The address should be on your screen. It's 5045 East Butler Avenue, Fresno, California, 93888. You can make it payable to the U.S. Treasury and write 2020 EIP and include the taxpayer ID, which is typically a social security number. Do that all on the recipient line, and then include a brief explanation of why you're returning the money. Now, if you received your stimulus via debit card, you can return the card to Money Network Cardholder Services. That address is 5565 Glen Ridge Connector Northeast, mail stop GH52, Atlanta, Georgia 30342. And I do want to add this. There are still tax experts out there who say that some people who died within the last year were eligible for a stimulus, they believe, because this was an advance on a return. And then also people are questioning, okay, what really happens if I don't return the money to the IRS? What will the IRS do? Nonetheless, the IRS is asking for those checks back, and other experts say it's the ethical thing to do. If you would like to learn more or see the addresses again, just text the word money to 206-448-4545 and we will send you that information. Jake, back to you.
Do the right thing. Just do the right thing. Thanks, Michelle.